Hello, everyone. My name is James Davis. I am a career development coordinator here at C-TEC. And on this episode 3 of Skills Chatter, we're going to be profiling some current students here at C-TEC about their life transitioning out of C-TEC and providing some advice for incoming sophomores that will be juniors next year. So today I have Kailyn. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Kailyn?
Hi, I'm Kailyn Brown, and I am a senior in the Digital Design Interactive Media program.
Okay, and what is your home school or associate school, Kailyn?
That's a good question. I actually am not associated with a home school right now because I am homeschooled.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we do have homeschool students here at C-TEC as well. So that is an option. You can come from one of our associate schools like Northridge, Newark, Heath, or we also have homeschool students that are enrolled here too. All right. So how did you first become interested in career tech and maybe C-TEC in general?
Well, I actually did attend Licking Valley when I was in middle school, and I had heard talk about C-TEC before I had left. And as a homeschooler, I was doing that for a few years, and I thought that maybe I'd want to get back into the school scene again, but I wasn't sure that I wanted to go just to go. I wanted to work on skills that I knew that I had. And I had heard about C-TEC and how they had a design program. I'm like, oh, well, pretty artistic. So I just gave it a shot and ended up liking it a lot. So I started.
More of a purpose in your schooling, right?
Definitely.
So you were sort of had a direction that you could head maybe post-graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Great. And now you chose the digital design program. What made you gravitate towards that program in particular? And maybe was there other programs you were considering?
I had never been able to take the tour of C-TEC like some other students had done, but I had heard about the design program. And like I had said a minute ago, I've always been really artistic. I've always had a pencil and paper with me wherever I went because I was always drawing or doing something sort of artistic. And I thought that maybe by coming to C-TEC, I could utilize that into something that I could, take into a career field or something.
Nice. Very good. All right. Did you know anything about the program? You're going to be doing Photoshop, or what did you know about the program before you came into it?
I knew it was for artsy people, and that was about the extent of my knowledge. But going into it, there was, like I said, there's a lot of things I didn't know that I would be doing, like Photoshop, Illustrator, more of the advertising sort of side of design and art. But I found that it's actually very interesting, and it's really captivated my attention.
And I think you've done some other projects recently, right? Actually, for instance, podcast filming, things like that.
Yeah, I've actually been helping with this podcast.
So what other avenues have you been able to explore through the digital design program?
Well, I've been able to dabble in some photography. I do photography for the school a lot, actually. And I found that I really like that. And I've been able to do some graphic design stuff for the community, help make some logos for some fundraisers in the community, and I found that it's really fun.
Oh, very neat. Thank you. All right. Are you currently working right now? Do you have a job outside of C-TEC maybe that is connected to the digital design program?
I do, actually, and it's kind of a weird job, but it's cool. I actually am working under the communications director for Ohio District 12's Congressman Troy Balderson.
Oh, wow. All right, and what are some things that you get to do for him?
Most of the things that I do have to do with promoting his image on social media. I've made some social media posts for Twitter. I've made some mailers that have been sent out to homes in the district talking about some of the services that the congressman can do, like veteran casework, passports, that sort of thing. And recently have been working on a brochure to kind of help some students that are looking to join military academies on sort of the nomination process that they have to go through to get those nominations from Congress.
Now, how is that balancing? You've got your schoolwork, you've got your lab, and then you've got this extra job as well. How is that balancing all of those different things and, still having time to be a normal high schooler?
It is a lot. It comes down to a lot of time management. So C-TEC does allow me to take certain time out from school to work on my job. And I have certain times during the day where I do my academics. I'm only out about 3 days out of the week, so it's not a whole lot of schoolwork to catch up on. So it's not too difficult to keep up with.
Okay. As far as academics, would you say that you have a favorite academic subject?
Yeah, I'm really into English and literature.
Okay. I guess that makes sense with digital design. I personally am biased towards math, but I'll let that slide.
It's okay. It's all right, but
So, outside of, work and school, is there any other hobbies or things that you enjoy doing?
I'm very involved in my church. I participate in a youth group, and we go out and we um, do things for some of the people at like the Flint Ridge Nursing Home that's nearby, and we get together, and it's just a nice time to just be with other people my age and just have fun and be there for one another.
Cool. Very good. All right. Now tell us something else maybe that would surprise folks that didn't know you. Just high school girl. What would be something that would surprise most people to learn about you?
Well, I feel like most people don't know that I'm very interested in music. I'm very musical.
Okay.
I play a few instruments. I'm a pianist and a guitarist, and I sing a lot. I get annoyed by people sometimes, but yeah, I'm just very musical.
Okay. Nice. Very good. And how about plans after graduation? So graduating from C-TEC here in about a month and a half. Do you have any firm plans, or what's kind of your direction here post C-TEC?
I'm definitely wanting to seek employment when I graduate, and I'm actually working through some things right now to where I could arrange a potential job opportunity when I get out of high school. And depending on what that is, I might pursue college if I feel that I need the degree for it.
Okay. So you feel like C-TEC has given you enough skills that you can jump right into a career potentially, and still leaving that college door open, but you've learned enough in the digital design field that you can go ahead and step into a career and start working,
Yeah, working my way up, definitely. Like I've said with my internship right now, I've already done some things for them, and I feel that I'm capable of starting out.
Awesome. Great. And it's also important that, maybe you don't jump into college if you don't know exactly what you want to do, right? But C-TEC gives you the opportunity to kind of figure it out and still make some money and build a skill while you figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, we are talking to incoming juniors for next year. So if you had some advice maybe that you want to pass on to them, maybe something you didn't know before you came to C-TEC, what would you say to those incoming students?
There are a lot more opportunities here than to just be in a classroom and learn. And the best way to get the most out of the experience at C-TEC is to be involved in the things that open up to you opportunities and whatnot, because there are definitely plenty of ways for you to get involved outside of just being in a classroom. Like I've done a lot of things for C-TEC's events, and I've been part of that, and I've gotten a lot of experience that way. So try to make the most out of your experience here. That's what I'd say, because there are plenty of experiences to get involved in.
So can you elaborate just a little bit more on like maybe student organizations that you've been a part of, things like that here at C-TEC?
Yeah. So during my senior year, I actually joined C-TEC student leadership team, and we help give some of the tours for the 8th graders. We help with some of the sophomore hands-on stuff. We go to some of the associate schools that come to C-TEC, and we talk about our programs and talk about what C-TEC has to offer. So I've been part of that, and I've helped with some photography on different events like C-TEC signing day, and even during some of the SLT events, I would take some time out to do photography as well.
Perfect. Well, it sounds like you have a good start on your future, and you have a direction, and you've really been able to build some skills as you exit C-TEC and into the future, and we wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your time here with us today. Okay, so I'm here with our second student to interview here for our Skills Chatter podcast. And here today I have Colette Patty. So Colette, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Colette Patty. I'm from Northridge High School, and I'm in the clinical care program.
Very cool. All right. And Colette, what maybe first sparked your interest in C-TEC, maybe that just got you going towards the path towards C-TEC?
I knew I wanted to go into a medical field, so I saw that C-TEC, you can get a lot of medical credentials, and so I thought it was a boost before college and possibly getting a job in the medical field.
Absolutely. And when did you first hear of it? So, like, was it when you came as a sophomore, 8th grader? Can you think back to when you first heard of C-TEC?
Yeah, my school counselor, she was the one who told us. She was like, hey, there's this program, C-TEC. They have lots of fields you can choose, so that's where I had interest. I wanted something new. I wanted a change of pace.
Cool. All right. And you were kind of zoned in on the medical field then. All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. And so clinical care is your program, and it's kind of our pre-nursing program, right?
Yes.
What are some of the credentials and things that you've learned how to do here at C-TEC?
So my junior year, we did our STNA and our CPR, and then our senior year, we did phlebotomy, EKG, point of care tech, and we'll be doing our farm this May.
Okay. So can you tell me, what is phlebotomy? If anybody doesn't know what's phlebotomy.
Phlebotomy is just drawing blood, taking blood, so any blood samples.
Okay. So you got to like stick the arm out right like this, right? And you got to put the needle in there.
Yeah, we practiced on each other, so definitely stuck each other. It was a little bit scary at first when we're all new learners.
Yeah, right. All right. Now, Colette, are you currently working anywhere outside of C-TEC as well?
I'm working as a catering server, so not necessarily in the medical field, but hopefully in the summer.
Now, how do you balance, working at being a student at C-TEC, and then I think you're also involved in some extracurriculars as well. How do you balance your time?
Yeah, so I would say balancing your time, the best way is to just plan ahead, know what you're getting yourself into, and just having your schedule ready before the week starts.
Okay, very good. And what are some of the extracurricular activities that you do outside of working and C-TEC? Is there anything else that you do outside of that?
Yeah, I do track and CrossFit.
Okay, nice. What do you run in track?
I do all the short sprints, so the 100, 200, and the 60.
Okay, so you're pretty fast then?
You can say.
Okay, all right. How have you been successful? Are you a good runner? What have you?
Yeah, I've been successful. I've seen the most success within my senior year, so I'm hoping that this outdoor season also carries a lot of success. My indoor, I had a state champion. Wow. Last year I went to states, but I'm hoping to make it on the podium.
Wow, so state champion. So like the fastest girl in the state then?
Yes, fastest in the state for the 60 meter.
All right, it's pretty good. It's probably faster than me, I'm sure. I don't know, but all right. What is your favorite academic subject?
My favorite academic would for sure be science.
Okay, nice. Like particular one, anatomy, biology, physical sciences. What do you think?
I would say anatomy.
Okay, nice. So you like to learn all the parts of the body and how everything works together.
Yeah. Nice.
I guess that fits with nursing. Is there something about you that someone would be maybe surprised to learn?
I am vegetarian, even though with all the activity I'm doing, I'm still vegetarian.
Oh, nice. Okay, so no meat, no animal products, anything like that?
I do have dairy, but no meat.
Okay, all right. So how do you, as an athlete, you also like to do CrossFit, how do you manage to get all the protein and all the nutrients that you need?
I like to start with protein in the morning. Getting it in at night is also a big deal. I will say my parents do cook me dinner, so that does help a lot. I can just come home from practice and eat dinner, so it definitely helps that they help me get my protein intake.
Nice, very good. All right, and what are your plans post-graduation? So are you going to college, going to the workforce? What are your plans after graduation?
Yeah, so after graduation, I've committed for track, but I'm also going to go for BSN.
Okay, and what school are you going to go to?
University of Charleston.
Oh, nice. All right, so you're going to run track, work on nursing. Perfect. think you got a good plan. So let's say a student is coming in, this is geared towards incoming students. Do you have any advice that you would maybe share with a student that's coming in to C-TEC for their first year next year?
Yeah, I would say don't be scared of making new friends. There's a bunch of friends here for you to find, and there will be just as good of the ones that you have at home school.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of times the biggest barrier for students coming in is you've spent, maybe, 10 plus years at your home school. You're building friends your whole life, and then you got to leave that whole friend set, come here to C-TEC. But I think one thing is, everybody is new, right?
Yeah.
Did you know anybody in your lab prior to coming to C-TEC?
I knew one girl, but she was not in the same class as I was. So in my class, I didn't know any.
Okay, all right. But it didn't take long, right?
No.
To get friends.
Just a few weeks. The first week, you'll be a little bit uncomfortable, but definitely the change of pace is worth it.
Okay, so stick it out, right? Even if it's hard the first week, stick it out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Colette, and I'm sure this will be valuable advice for incoming students, and best of luck with your plans next year.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here with our third student for our Skills Chatter student interviews here, and today I've got Noah here. So Noah, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Noah Fry. I attended Watkins Memorial High School. I was at Watkins my whole life. And I'm enrolled at RAM, Robotics and Automated Manufacturing.
Okay, so robotics, how did you first become interested in robotics?
Well, for my entire life, I've been interested in how things work. but I've never been really good. I've been good at taking things apart, but never really good at putting things together. So when at walk-ins, they sent out those little brown boxes, and I got one that had like a little Among Us toy in it, and it was supposed to do something like move around, and there was instructions you could follow to make it do that, but I could not figure out how to get it to work. And I was like, I'm gonna go to C-TEC and I'm gonna figure out how to get it to work, essentially.
Well, so now you want to do that for a living, right? You want to figure out how things work.
Yeah.
And so that kind of sparked you when you first got that box from C-TEC, and you've been able to apply that over the last couple of years. And so what do you plan to do after C-TEC then?
I plan to attend Columbus State and get my associates in electromechanical engineering.
Okay, cool. So it has like a piece of both electrical engineering and mechanical engineering kind of fused together, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to try to figure out which path, beyond that you want to take?
Yeah. I feel like after Columbus State, I'll go to Ohio State because you can transfer really easily from the two, and it makes it cheaper if you start at Columbus State, and cheap is good when it comes to education.
Absolutely. So yeah. Do you currently have a job that you're working anywhere?
Right now, I work at Tractor Supply, which is not exactly in my field, but in June, I will get an internship at Ascena, which is a retail manufacturer. They manufacture clothing, and I'm going to be hired on as a maintenance intern, so I'll be shadowing their team and fixing stuff.
Okay, so fixing their machines, are those skills that you learned here at C-TEC?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Fixing machines. Things go wrong a lot, and it's a great opportunity to learn how to fix things.
So you're Mr. Fix-It then, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Do you have a favorite academic subject here at C-TEC?
I would say science.
Okay.
I'm taking environmental science right now, which I really love. When I was younger, I wanted to be a biologist, but it didn't really. I didn't like it when I got older, mainly because I don't think they make a lot of money.
Okay.
So
that's a good reason. Yeah. All right. Do you have anything outside of school, maybe like a hobby or something like that you like to do outside of school?
I skateboard.
Okay.
So that's something.
All right. Skateboarding. I'm not too good at skateboarding, but I do know a few tricks. What's your best trick?
My best trick, I would say, is the hospital flip, because it's kind of an untraditional trick that not a lot of people know how to do. I figured it out like a year and a half ago, and it's like a kickflip. You start like a kickflip. The foot placement's like a kickflip, but then once the board starts to rotate, you catch it on your front foot, and then you pull the board back around. So the board starts to flip, and then it does a 180, but you stay still.
So the name hospital flip, does that imply anything?
It's really not good for your ankles, especially when you're learning it. It's a quite hazardous trick. Okay. Yeah.
Wow. All right, that's impressive. All right. Anything? How about something about you that might surprise people that Ram kid here? What's something else that you maybe something interesting about you that would surprise people?
I have a YouTube channel. So I make YouTube videos. I edit, I record, and I upload, and I do things like my skateboarding and hanging out with my friends. So I don't think anybody in my class really does that in RAM right now, but anybody could. It's just something that not a lot of them do.
Right. Just taking initiative, learning how to do something. Very cool. All right. What about your plans after high school?
So yeah, the college thing, Columbus State, and then get into the work field. Maybe I'm thinking Intel, but anything could happen. If I find somewhere I'm comfortable, that's probably where I'll end up.
So yeah, with Intel as the neighbor here, and you're from Watkins, so that's right down the road from you, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see. Maybe this will go big, and Intel will get you in there. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. And then one last thing. How about a piece of advice for incoming students for next year? Maybe that you didn't know coming to C-TEC that you think would be very important for students to know when they come here.
The best advice I could give is about attendance. Because at your home school, you can kind of get away with missing more days than you can at a school where they're teaching you a trade. So when you get here, you just want to make sure that you're present. And you don't have to be here every day. It's not like you can't miss days. You can't not be sick. But the more you're here, the easier it'll be. And there's a lot of benefits to being here the whole time. So just try to do that and you'll be okay.
And good practice for when you have a career, right? If you don't show up to a job, you're probably not going to have that job very long.
Absolutely.
Attendance very important for incoming students. Well, Noah, I appreciate your time and best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.